So I've opened this Indian e-commerce website and let me show you something. So if I hover on this electronics and let's select Apple, you can see we have a listing page open, a product listing page open, which shows all of the mobiles offered by Apple. But let's see if I click on any of the product, it takes us to the product detail page. But did you notice something? When we were on the product listing page, we had this something over here, which is called a breadcrumb in a website. So this will help us to navigate throughout the website and will tell us where are we exactly inside of that website. So if we are inside of this detail page, you can see this was the path to the listing page, and after that we have the path to our detail page. So let's say if we want to go back to our listing page and this page was no longer open, we can simply do is we can click on over here and we can go one step backwards and we can go to some other detail page, and you're gonna see it shows the detail regarding that particular detail page as well. And you might have seen similar pattern followed by other e-commerce website or just normal websites as well. And that is why this is one of the most asked interview question in front-end interviews. And let's see how we can go on and implement it in our own website. But before we do that, hit that subscribe button right now if you want to see more such videos like this, because you won't find content like this anywhere else on YouTube. So I opened Code Sandbox over here and let's create a new React sandbox. So we have a new React.js sandbox initialized over here, and if you go inside of this app.js file, you're gonna see we have all of our code over here. So I'm gonna get rid of this, and instead I'm just gonna write in the h1 tag. So I'm gonna create a dummy e-commerce website with the home page, product listing page, product detail page, and then go on to implement our breadcrumb feature. So below this, I'm gonna have my breadcrumbs, which we will implement later on, and below that we're gonna have all of our routes. So how do you implement routes inside of a React app? We will need something called React Router DOM. So I'm gonna search React DOM. Yep, here it is. And also if you're using something like VS Code or if you're working on a terminal apart from a code sandbox, you can type npm install react-router-dom. So how do we initialize multiple routes inside of our app? First of all, we have to wrap whole of our app in something called browser router, which comes from React Router DOM. So let me wrap it, manually import it from React Router DOM. So after wrapping this, first of all, let me just close this. I'm gonna import something called routes from React Router DOM. And inside of it, we are going to create all of our routes. So we're going to need 3 routes. One is for home, other is for our product listing, and third one is for product detail page for detail of one single product. So to create a route, we import a tag called route from React Router DOM, and it's going to be a self-closing tag. So I'm going to import this as well from React Router DOM. And first thing that is going to take is a path. That what path is this route going to be? So since it's our home page, so it's going to be the slash path. So whenever we are on the root of our website, it's going to be called. So, and the second thing is going to be element. And inside of here, we are going to provide the actual component for our page. So I'm going to duplicate it a couple of times, and another is going to be for products. The third one is going to be products / one particular product. So how can we identify one particular product? By using its ID, but we don't know what ID is at this point, right? So I'm going to say :ID. So this path right here is going to be dynamic, and I'll show you how it's going to be dynamic. But first of all, let's go on and create the pages. So I'm going to create a new folder for our pages, and I'll keep all of my pages inside of it. The first page is going to be home.js, then product listing.js, and product detail.js. Now inside of the home, I'm going to create a new component, const home equals, and this will be an arrow function, and I'll simply return a div inside of which I'll have an h2 tag which will say homepage. That's it. I'm gonna repeat it a couple of times for our listing page. Oh, I haven't exported it yet. Export default home. Okay, let's do that for our listing page as well. So product listing, and the third one is going to be the product details. Okay, let's go on inside of our app.js and import all of these. So here it's going to be home. Here it's going to be product listing. And the third one is going to be product details. Okay, let's see. Let's test out if it's working. Okay, product details isn't exported. I mean imported. Yeah, let's see. Let's refresh this. Okay, we are on home page right now. Let's go to products. And what if we give it some random ID, let's say 69. Yeah, we get product details page. So fine, our routing is working up until now. Let's go on and provide it some e-commerce functionality a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Google and search dummy JSON API. And inside of this first search result, I'm going to go on and click on this /products, and we have this products listing API. So simply I'll take it and go inside of our homepage, and here inside of use effect, I'm gonna call it. So use effect, as you already know, is a hook provided by React, inside of which it takes one callback function and a dependency array. If we keep the dependency array empty, it's gonna call this callback function only once the component is rendered for the first time. So this is a good place to fetch some APIs. So I'll fetch dummyjson.com/products API, and then I'll take the response. First of all, we need to format this response to JSON, and then I'll say .then we're gonna assign it to some state. So let's create a state over here. Const use state, and use state is another hook provided by React for creating the states. So by default, I'm gonna keep it as an empty array, and here I'm gonna say trending products. This is going to be the name of our state, and the other thing that it provides is a set trending products, which is going to be the setter, which is going to be used for changing our states. So cool. Inside of it, .then I'll say set trending products to whatever the response we get. But since this is a home page, right, we don't want to display all of our products here. So what I'll do, I'll just say const slice trending, and inside of it I'll say response dot products dot slice. So what this slice will do is it will basically take only the first 6 products or whatever we write over here. So I'm taking from 0 to 6. So if we have this API, you can see we have this products key inside of it, right? So inside of the product key, I'm going to take the first 6 products because we have a bunch of different products here, which is 30 in this case. So okay, so we'll just take the first 60 and just provide it to this set trending products over here. Now let's go on and render this trending products. Oops, I've done this over here inside of our app page. I don't want to do this here, so I'm just going to take it and do it in home page instead. Let's get rid of it. Let's go to home page over here. I'll just import use state and use effect. Cool, this should do it. Let's go on and render these trending products. So below this home page over here, I'm just gonna create a span tag, right, trending products. Oh, by the way, if you want to access this complete code, you can find the link in the description down below to my GitHub repository. Below this, I'm gonna have a div. Inside of it, we are going to render all these products. So let's give this div some class name of product. Product grid. Inside of it, I'm gonna have another div which will render one single product. So but before this, I'm gonna render all of our products. So trending products dot map, and here I'll take one single product. Inside of it, I'll say return, and this div over here, and this div will also have a class name of product card, and also we are supposed to give this a key as well, right? Else React will start crying. Product dot ID. So if you go to this API, every single product has an ID. We have a title, description, price, and bunch of different things which we are going to use for rendering this. So inside of it, I'm gonna have a link tag. Now, what is a link tag, you ask? It's just like an A tag, but this is provided to us by React Router DOM. So, yep, you see, What this basically helps us do is it helps us to transition from one page to another in a blink of an eye. It doesn't let us feel that our app is a web app. It gives the app feel as if it's a native app, and it makes our app super fast, right? So link, and where are you supposed to go with this link? Since we are on a home page, this won't take us to the listing page, right? This is the link to one single product. So I'm gonna say to, and I'm gonna use a backtick to slash products and slash whatever the ID of the products is. So inside of this template string, I'm gonna write the ID. So this is the ID, product.id. And this will take us to that product.id page. And simply inside of it, I'll render two things. One is the image of the products and other of the title of the product. So here, I'll just simply say product.title. And above this, I'll say src. And let's see first, inside of our app, we have a thumbnail. Yeah, thumbnail. So we're going to use this field. So products.thumbnail. I think it should be product, not products. So product.thumbnail, also we should give it an alt tag as well. It's good for our search engines. And let's see what magic it creates. So yeah, we have all of this bunch of different products. Yeah, so we have all the images and the title rendered over here. If you click on any of these products, we go to product detail page. You can see /product/1. And also let's create a link over here to go see all of our products, right? Not just these six products. So below this, I'll have another link tag which will say to, and this will take us to /products. And simply inside of it, I'm gonna say view all products. Let's see, it looks more like a link. Let me make this a button instead. So button, and inside of it, I'll just say view all products. Let's give this button some bare minimum styles of width and some padding. Yeah, this looks much better, a big button that we can easily see. Apart from this, all of this looks very ugly. Let's give this some little bit of CSS styling. So I'll just go to my app.css or styles.css in this case. Instead of it, first of all, I'm gonna give this padding, top, bottom 0, left and right 20 pixels. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Let's style each of these products as well. So first of all, for our parent product grid, I'll say display should be grid, and grid template columns should be one fraction. What this means is it will allocate one fraction of space to each and every product. Let's say if the whole width was 60 pixels, so for each product it will give 20 pixels each, right? So, and a gap between them will be 20 pixels and some padding of top and bottom of 20 pixels and left and right of 0. So for our product card, for each and every product card, we will have some border, some padding and some text aligned to the center so that we can see it in the center. You can see the border has started to appear. And after that, for each and every link tag, you can see this ugly blue line and blue color. So we can just say text decoration to be none and color to be black. And now let's give some width to our image. So our image is going to have 100% of width and height is going to be 250 pixels so that it can fit in over here. Yeah, let's see. You know what? I think I should just make it 2 products per line. Cool, then. We have successfully created our homepage. If we go and click on this view all products, we can see we are routed to our product listing page. Now let's style this listing page a little bit as well, and then we'll move on to our product detail page, and then we will work on our breadcrumbs. But before that, if you're preparing for your front-end interview and you would like me to help you in your front-end interview preparation, just click the link in the description down below and book a one-on-one call with me. We're going to discuss tips, tricks. I'm going to give you a lot of resources. I'm going to design a proper roadmap tailored to your situation, which is going to help you out a lot in your front-end interview preparation. So click the link in the description down below and book a one-on-one call with me. So for our product listing page, we will do the absolute same thing that we did in our home page as well. So what I'll just do, I'll just take this, copy this up, paste it here. Instead of trending products, I'll just call it products. Instead of set trending products, I'll just say set products. Let's just take this products and replace this over here, and this time we won't do any slicing. We'll just display whole of our product. So I'll just say response dot products, and we're supposed to render this as well. First of all, let me just import use effect and use state. So simply I'll go back to my home page, copy this whole thing up, and set a product listing, and I'll render this here. I'm not gonna need this homepage tag, not gonna need this trending products tag, and yeah, I think this should be good. Instead of trending products, I'll just say products. I think this should work. Let's see. If we go to the view all products, okay, what's wrong? Link is no, oh, we haven't imported a bunch of things, so let's import the link. Let's add some error checking. So I'll just add a question mark over here so that it will check if the product has something, then only map through it and render it. So yep, we can see all of our 30 products have been rendered over here. And you know what, instead of just title, let's add price as well, which I believe it's going to be in dollars. So let's add a $sign here, and yeah, this looks fine. Yeah, much better. If we click on any of these products, it should take us to the product detail page, and let's go on and design this product detail page now. We should show details of one single product here. So I'll just close it and open this product details.js, and here we are going to use something called use params, which is going to be coming from React router DOM. Now this use params basically helps us to access our URL over here, and we can fetch this ID that has been used in this URL. So in this case, it's 1, right? So how do we get this? I'm going to say const, and this will give us ID, which was the variable that we defined over here. We can make it anything, and that will be what we will get from our use params. So okay, let's test it out real quick just to be safe. I'm going to say ID and go to our console. Let's refresh this, or let's go back to our home page. If I click on view all products, if I click on any single product over here, yep, you see 3, and this is the product with the 3 ID. Cool. Then what now I will do is I'll create a state over here for one single product. So this is going to be null by default because it's going to be an object, right? An object has a null state. So const an empty array which will say product and set product. Let me just get rid of this. Now inside of it, what we are supposed to do is we have to fetch the details of that one single product. So for that as well, we have an API call. If we go to this dummy.json/products/ and let's say if we say 3, you're gonna see it just gives the details of that one single product. So this is pretty cool. You know what, I'll just go back to my home.js again, or let's say product listing.js. I'll take this data fetching code, come back to my product details, let's paste it, and in this case we're going to need this ID. So this ID, so slash this ID over here, and also we're supposed to use backticks if you want to use template string inside of it. So just like that. And instead of set products, I'm going to say set product. Let's see if our product has been fetched. I'm going to console log this. Okay, use effect is not defined, my bad. Use effect as well. Okay, this is giving us undefined. Okay, it shouldn't be dot products, just this response. There we go. We are getting just that one single product right over here. Cool. Then let's go on and render it over here. So below our product details, I'll just say if the product is present, then do something else. Just show a p tag with loading. And let me warn you, this is not the right way to add a loading inside of a product detail page or wherever. Loading should be done with respect to the data fetching. That is, you should create a state over here of loading, set loading to true over here, and then when it's fetched, you should set the loading to false, right? But for accelerating things over here, I'm just doing it just like this. Now inside of it, I'm gonna have a div where first of all, I'm gonna have an image of our product. So src equals product dot thumbnail, alt will be product dot title. Let's take this product dot title and render it below this. So I'll have h3 tag. It's gonna say product dot title. Just close this. We don't need this anymore. Okay, we have this phone, and yep, title of our product. And you know what, instead of just rendering it over here, I'll just render it right here in product dot title, and over here I'll just say product dot price with the dollar sign in front of it, and have a p tag over here, product dot description. Okay, we have the title here, the image, the pricing, and the description. Let's give this image some little styling. Height to be 300. Yeah, I think this is better. And you know what, I'll just move it back there. Here I'll just add the title. That will look better over there, because I just realized this was outside of this. And in this div, I'll just provide a styling for display flex and wrap all of these details inside of another div. I think this looks better, some bare minimum styling, but good enough for explaining what Breadcrumb is all about. So okay, now let's go on and implement breadcrumbs inside of our app.
Now, if you're enjoying this tutorial up until this point, open your Instagram app right now and search Roadside Coder and hit that follow button as hard as you can, because I'm very active on Instagram, and if you have any doubts, any queries, or just a normal message, you can ping me on Instagram for this. So go on, do it. I'm waiting. What? I'm being serious over here. Open your Instagram app right now and follow me there. Oh, you've already done it? Okay, let's move on with this video.
So I'll close all of this up, and over here I'll create a component for our breadcrumbs. But since this component doesn't exist, I would need to create a file for it. So I'll just create a new folder for our components, and inside of it I'll just create a new file called breadcrumbs.js. Okay, now inside of this file, I'm gonna create a component called breadcrumbs and export it, export default breadcrumbs, and I'm gonna say return and have a div here, which will have a class name of breadcrumbs and a link tag which takes us to home. Let's see what's going on over here. First of all, let's import it just like that. Let me close this up. Okay, link is not defined. Let me define the link, and also this will take us to the home page. So slash. Let's see. So okay, we are in product detail page, right? But if we click on this home page, we go back to our home page. But this is not what we want. If we, let's say, are on listing page, we want home, then it will show listing after it. Then if we are on detail page, it should show product detail or the ID of the current product that we are in. So after home page, we have to see this URL over here and decide how many links are we going to render. So right over here, what I'll do, I'll use another hook called use location, which comes from React Router DOM. So just like that, and again it has imported in separate lines. Let's just do one line for clean code. So okay, and from this we are gonna get a location. Let's try to console log this and see what do we get inside of it. So location, and let's go to our console and see. Okay, we get a path name, we get a search hash, and bunch of different things. So what we are concerned about is this path name. So it has products and the name or the ID of that product, right? So instead of location, I'll just destructure it to take out our path name. And with this path name, what I will do is I'll say path name dot split, and I'll split it from this slash over here. So slash, and then this will return us an array. So if I say const path names, and let's try to console log this path names and see what do we have. Okay, so we have an empty path, products, and one. So we don't want this empty path, so you know what, I'll just do dot filter, and let's take x and return x. So what this will do is, if it's not a truthy value, if it's a falsy value, it will just get rid of it. So we just get products and this one. So let's render it after it. Now below this, I'll just map through this path names over here, dot map. I'll take two things. First is the name of that path and the index. Now inside of it, we will take another variable over here actually. So let breadcrumbs or breadcrumb path to be empty by default. And over here, I'll say breadcrumbs equals to or plus equals to the current name. So backticks, I'm going to say name. Below this, I'll say return and I'll have a span tag. Instead of this span tag, I'll say slash and then render this name. You can see home, products and one. If we go back to our home and let's go to our view all products, you can see we are home and products. But what we want to do over here is, if let's say we are on a detail page, we want to make this and this as a clickable link, but not the end link over here, right? So the current page that we are in, obviously we are not going to click on over here and go back to the same page, right? So we're not going to make this a link, but this should be a link over here as well. So what I'll simply do is, first of all, I'll add a check to detect if it's a last link or not. So I'll add const is last, and inside of it, I'll have index is equal to path names dot length, just to detect if the current index is the last index or not, that is this. So if it's equal to that, and actually it should be -1 because it starts from 0. So I'll add a check over here in return. If it's last, then I'll just show this, but if it's not last, then what I'll do, I'll just take it, paste it here and wrap this inside of a link tag. And let's just keep this slash outside of here, and inside I'll keep the name, and this will take us to this breadcrumb path right here. So this serves us two things. This will help us to provide an index as well, and the path where we are supposed to go. What's wrong? Oh, my bad, I was supposed to render it inside of here, and this 2 will go to here, and also this will serve us as a key. Breadcrumb path here and actually here as well. Let's see how this works. So yep, we can see we have all of these things here. So if we go back to our home page, and let me just close it. And also some people, what they do is they prefer to not show home page over here, right? So I'll just wrap it. If path names.length is equals to 0, then we don't want to show this. So I'll just say if it's more than or equal to, just more than 0 actually. So let's see. When we are on home page, we can't see any breadcrumbs over here, but let's see if we go to our listing page. Yep, we see home/products. If we go to our detail page, that particular details ID, let's style this a little bit. So I'll just quickly add some stylings over here instead of our styles.css. For our breadcrumbs, I'll say margin bottom of 20 pixels, some font size and some text transform of capitalize. For our links, I'll just remove that ugly blue lines and add some black colors. And for our span tag, the span tag is going to be the last one, right? So I'll just add a color over here. So if we go back to our products, you can see, we can clearly see on which page we are on currently. And what else I will do is, I'll just say padding left of 5 pixels. Yep, this will provide better spacing. Great, this looks amazing. We can directly go to any single product from here as well. So yep, then we can go back to listing page from here. And this is how you can go on and implement breadcrumbs into your own website. If you like this video and would like to see more such videos like this, click this card above my head and access the complete React.js interview series.